That's from CNN on February 2025. You said that's not racism.
She shouldn't inject race into
Is that
things.
racism?
No, it's not racism.
Okay.
Wait, can I say,
Thank
though,
you.
can I say, you say that Jasmine Crockett hates all white people, but you have to find these random quotes. But when Donald Trump literally says himself, I hate all Democrats, that's not enough for you, for him to hate all Democrats?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So Adam Mockler recently went on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and this one turns into a real fight. It's a call-in show, so Jesse takes callers throughout, and things get heated fast. A big part of the argument comes back to something that was all over the news. The sitting president publicly told his attorney general to go after 3 of his political opponents, and not long after, those prosecutions actually got moving. Adam sees that as a president using the justice system as a weapon. Jesse doesn't buy it. That disagreement runs through the whole thing, along with fights over free speech, race, and immigration. Before you watch, I want your take. Do you think it's fine for a president to name people he wants investigated, or is that a line that shouldn't be crossed? Comment yes if you think it's fine. Comment no if you think it crosses the line. Let's get into it.
Let me ask you this. What is cancel culture? Is that just renaming opposition to free speech and saying that it's okay if you can cancel someone? Because I think that on the other side, on the right, on the left, we see a lot of cancel culture. If you don't like somebody, it doesn't even matter their language or their speech, just obliterate them, act as though they become invisible. What is the difference between a violation of free speech and cancel culture?
See, that's actually a really good question. I would say that cancel culture comes from cultural power on one side, and what we're seeing right now is the executive branch being weaponized to silence people. So just to back up, I'm against cancel culture. I thought that liberals took it too far when they were canceling everybody for everything. I think there are some cases where it's normal, but now that you see the culture shift towards the rights, you saw the same type of cancel culture when people were making jokes about Charlie Kirk. Some people got fired for really, really dumb reasons, just making jokes. But my problem isn't with the cultural change of cancel culture. That's a separate conversation. I see the Trump administration as weaponizing the executive branch to go after, let's say, universities that disagree with them, like universities in my home state of Illinois or universities in California, going after law firms that disagree with them, Act Blue, comedians that disagree with them. Donald Trump has tweeted Jimmy Kimmel's name dozens of times. Why is the president going after some random comedian? And then when that comedian gets taken off the air because of Brendan Carr, it kind of scares me. So there's a difference between the cultural power, the wielding of cultural power, versus actual institutional power to silence people.
But, okay, so to your point, you're mentioning his tweets. He's not using any of his executive powers or any of his positional powers to do anything.
He is, though.
You know, tweeting something. No. Tweeting something is part of that cultural exchange that you just mentioned.
Well, okay,
he didn't ever say anything. He didn't ever execute any of his powers to do it. You just mentioned how he tweeted something.
Listen, it's not a part of
everybody else, how other people respond, again, this is the problem with this.
No. Let me jump in. Let me jump in really quickly. What he did a few weeks ago was tweet out Pam Bondi's name. I don't know if you guys have seen this post. Jesse, have you seen this post? He said, Pam, I want you to target these 3 people. And he had 3 names on there. It was Adam Schiff, Letitia James, and James Comey.
Did he say, I want you to target them?
He said, I want you to go after these people. Yes. So right after this happened.
So did he say, I want you to target them?
He said, he literally said, we need to speed up the process. And
you want to know what
happened? The federal prosecutor.
Can I hold you over? Are you able to stay a little bit longer?
Yeah.
I'm going to hold him over for at least another 15 minutes or so, all right? Mimi, can you hold on?
Sure.
All right, you need to fix your phone. So listen, I have some things that Jasmine Crockett said.
Okay.
And Jasmine Crockett admitted that she's tired of the white tears over DEI, which she said comes from mediocre white boys. Is that racism?
Wait. So you're going to say...
Is that racism?
No.
That's not racism?
No.
So if a white lady said that about the blacks, would that be racism?
No, not inherently.
That would be racist if a white lady said it.
Saying that people are mediocre?
No, saying that...
Here's my problem.
She said that she's tired of white tears about DEI.
You probably shouldn't inject race into
which
things.
She said comes from mediocre white boys. That's from CNN on February 2025. You said that's not racism.
She shouldn't inject race into
Is that
things.
racism?
No, it's not racism.
Okay.
Wait, can I say,
Thank
though,
you.
can I say, you say that Jasmine Crockett hates all white people, but you have to find these random quotes. But when Donald Trump literally says himself, I hate all Democrats, that's not enough for you, for him to hate all Democrats? Like, you're grasping at straws to try to say that Jasmine Crockett hates all white people, literally grasping at straws. But Trump said with his own lips that he hates all Democrats. Do you think he hates all Democrats?
No.
Do you think Jasmine Crockett hates all white people?
Yes.
So what's happening here?
Because Jasmine Crockett is crazy.
Okay.
You have to understand something right out of the gate here, because this is the part that too many people gloss over. There is a massive difference between people getting mad at you online and the machinery of the federal government being pointed at your head. Adam draws that line perfectly. Adam said this: I would say that cancel culture comes from cultural power on one side, and what we're seeing right now is the executive branch being weaponized to silence people. And Chone, when adjusts, and that distinction is everything. Because here's what people don't realize. When a crowd on social media decides they don't like your joke, that's annoying, sure. It can even be unfair, but you still have your right. Nobody is showing up at your door. What Adam is describing is a completely different animal. It's when the actual levers of state power start getting aimed at universities, at law firms, at comedians, at anyone who dares to disagree. One of those things is a mob with opinions. The other is a government with subpoenas. Pretending they're the same thing is how people get tricked into shrugging at real abuse. And watch how Jesse tries to wiggle out of it. The whole move is to say, it's just tweets, it's just words, nobody used any real power. But that's exactly the sleight of hand. When the most powerful person in the country publicly names who he wants investigated, that is not the same as you or me posting our feelings. The office carries weight, the words become instructions. Then we get to the racism section, and honestly, this is where I just had to laugh. Jesse digs up one obscure quote from a congresswoman to prove she supposedly hates an entire race of people. One quote. Meanwhile, the double standard is so loud it's almost comical. Adam said this: you're grasping at straws to try to say that Jasmine Crockett hates all white people. And he's right. When you have to go hunting through archives for a single line to build your case, while ignoring far more direct statements from your own side, you're not making an argument, you're performing one.
So I want to go back to Mimi, all right? Some calls here. Mimi, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
Yes, Jesse, and I would like to apologize about the issue with my phone. I have fixed it, just for the record.
Right on. And now you sound clear and good. Thank you.
Can I respond to what we were
Perfect.
talking about before?
Yes.
Mimi, I really apologize to cut you off. There was something I was trying to say, and then I want to hear what you have to say as well. We went to the commercial break last time. So Donald Trump sent out this Truth Social post aimed at Pam Bondi, and he said, Pam, I want you to go after these three people. It was Letitia James, James Comey, and then Adam Schiff. Within weeks, a federal prosecutor resigned, and a new federal prosecutor was appointed to specifically go after Letitia James, James Comey, and Adam Schiff. So we were saying that you were trying to say that Donald Trump isn't actually directing people to do things, but for the first time in American history, we have a president directing his attorney general on social media to go after people. Biden never did that to Merrick Garland.
Yeah, but you know what? It's interesting that you say that, because possibly, is it possible that if he's saying that you need to take a look at these people, you need to take a look at their behaviors and their actions, is that wrong that he does that? No, maybe putting it on Truth Social post or whatever, maybe we need to start seeing some of the decisions that politicians are making out in public. Because I'll be honest with you, as a political commentator, you and I both know that in politics, everything is cloaked under a closed door, and we as the American people have no idea as to what is going on. Do you think that just because he posted that on Truth Social, that there aren't hundreds of politicians that aren't using their power to push a button, and then all of a sudden all kinds of things are happening?
No.
That would be, being that you're a political commentator, that would be very irresponsible.
I'm not denying
of
that
you.
corruption does happen,
Okay.
but this is unprecedented.
Not even necessarily corruption. It's
What-
just more so use of power.
Okay, but what Donald Trump is doing is by definition unprecedented. You said, is it really that bad for the president to be posting this stuff? Yes, there's supposed to be a separation between the presidency and the Department of Justice or the Attorney General. Merrick Garland was never directed by President Biden, as much as people want to say, but the fact that Trump is putting his thumb on the scale to make sure that his political opponents are indicted, and just to add insult to injury, this indictment was 4 or 5 days before the statute of limitations was up, meaning Trump and his team saw, hey, the statute of limitations is right about to be up. We have to put our thumb on the scale and force the Eastern District of Virginia to prosecute our political opponents. That never happened under Biden, and that is not what America's about. It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, not the president calls you guilty until you can prove that you're innocent. You know?
I think there's a lot of assumptions there that
like
you're
what?
making. There's a lot of jumps that you're making in terms of what was done and what wasn't done.
He said it.
What was said and what was said, wasn't said because you got a post. There's a lot of assumptions, but I get it. The mind has a tendency to run wild.
No, I'm not running wild.
Believe me,
Trump meant to send that
Okay.
as a DM to Pam Bondi. They literally said, we meant to send this as a DM. We meant to direct Pam Bondi to do this. What assumption am I filling in? Can you name any gap that I'm missing here?
I think that for you to say that, again, that he is going into their office and saying, you absolutely have to do this. If he is directing people to start looking at things, he absolutely in his power should. And if it's unprecedented, shame on all of those other presidents that haven't done it.
This next stretch is where the conversation gets genuinely serious, and I need you to sit with it for a second, because Adam lays out a chain of events that should bother any American, no matter what side you're on. A public post goes out naming 3 specific people, and then, within weeks, a prosecutor steps aside, and a new one gets installed to go after those exact same names. That's not a coincidence, that's a pattern. Adam said this: for the first time in American history, we have a president directing his attorney general on social media to go after people. And here's what makes that line land so hard. It's not hyperbole. This is the part that blows my mind. The entire design of our system, going all the way back to the founders, was built to keep the person at the top from being able to point a finger and say, prosecute that person I don't like. That's literally why we have separate branches. The whole point of splitting up power was so no single individual could turn the justice system into a personal weapon. And Mimi's response is fascinating, because she doesn't actually deny it happened. She pivots. She goes, well, maybe more leaders should be doing this out in the open. And that right there is the trap. The moment you start cheering for your side to use that power, you've handed a loaded weapon to whoever comes next. You might like who's holding it today. You will not always like who's holding it tomorrow. Then Adam drops the detail that really seals it. Adam said this indictment was 4 or 5 days before the statute of limitations was up. Let me break down why that matters so much. When a case gets rushed through at the very last legal second, right before the clock runs out, that tells you the timing wasn't about justice. It was about not missing the window to hit a target. That's the tell. That's the thing an honest observer cannot look away from. It flips the entire American promise on its head. The whole idea is supposed to be that you're innocent until someone proves otherwise, not that a powerful person declares you guilty and dares you to prove you're not.
You're
So
saying
it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, so possibly you are making a point about what he's doing as unprecedented. But if you care about this nation, if you care about your job, what you do as the kind of the leader in charge, you have to look out for things that may be questionable.
it's not just that it's
may or may not
unprecedented,
like.
it's that it's un-American as well. The point of the presidency is to have checks and balances on you so you can't target people, target political opponents.
Was it un-American for Obama to go after the Tea Party?
Did Obama direct his attorney general to go after the Tea Party?
No, was it un-American for Obama to go after the Tea Party?
Obama didn't direct his
Obama
attorney
did
general.
not go after the Tea Party.
Did he direct his attorney general?
You're not answering the question.
I'm asking you one that is more
Is
relevant.
it un-American? Was it un-American for Obama to go after the Tea Party?
I reject the framing.
What?
I reject.
Well,
Obama
but-
didn't
What do you mean,
weaponize his
reject the
Department
framing?
of Justice against the. So, did Obama ask
You
his
speak
attorney
like a
general?
white person. I don't know what that means. Did Obama go?
Well-
Was it un-American for Obama to go after the Tea Party?
I'm not going to be boxed into this framing when I'm making a point that is very valid.
What does that mean, framing?
Because you're framing the question in such a way that's
No, I'm just asking
loaded.
the question.
No, you're loaded. It's like.
Was it
Do the cops?
un-American for the fallen Messiah to go after the Tea
Do
Party?
the cops know you beat your wife?
You didn't answer the
Do
question.
the cops know you beat your wife?
Was it un-American for Obama to go after Dinesh D'Souza?
Do the cops know that you beat
Was
your
it
wife?
un-American for Obama
See,
to
but
go
Adam,
after?
Do you see how
that
my
is
No, do you see how my framing presupposes that
man,
you've done
what did
bad
you say,
things?
Mimi?
My framing presupposes
Hold
that
on.
you've done
Hold
bad
on.
things.
Because I think, Adam, I get it. I get it. You're educated and you have a way of, being able to explain certain factions of the English language that asks a question, and then you call it something so that you don't have to answer it. So it's interesting because what you don't realize is that a lot of the stuff that that the left is leaning on has nothing to do with facts and actual basis. It has a lot to do with everybody's feelings.
Where did I
on
lie?
things.
What's one
And
unfactual thing I
think
said?
Because you don't like the question, so now you're going to use the word framing.
No, he's loading the question. He's loading the question. Okay,
It's interesting.
I'm not
You guys
loading the
have all
question.
these-
Listen,
Okay.
I'm black.
you
I
guys
don't know
have
how to
all
load a
these- you have
question,
all
man.
these- You have all these arsenal, and then you say you don't weaponize anything. you say that it's the right is weaponizing everything, but you have this whole arsenal, but you don't call it arsenal. You're like, those aren't bullets, those are marshmallows. And it's like, stop it.
never
Stop it.
under Biden or
Okay.
Obama did they direct their attorney general to do this. And you admitted it was unprecedented, but then you justified it and you said you wish more presidents had gone after their opponents.
Unprecedented is not a bad thing.
It is when you're
saying unprecedented. No, it's not.
He's turning our country
Unprecedented
into an
has never been done
authoritarian
before.
regime.
Okay, this is the part I've been waiting to talk about, because what Adam does here is a genuine masterclass, and I don't think enough people caught how clever it was. Jesse keeps trying to force him into a trap question, one of those just answer yes or no setups where the question itself is rigged. And instead of falling for it, Adam turns the whole thing into a lesson right in front of everyone. Adam said this: "Do you see how my framing presupposes that you've done bad things?" And that is so important, because this is a manipulation tactic people use constantly, and most folks never even notice it's happening to them. Here's what you have to understand. A loaded question isn't a real question. It's an accusation wearing a question's clothing. When someone asks you something that already assumes you're guilty, there's no clean way to answer, because both yes and no trap you inside the lie baked into the setup. Adam didn't just dodge it. He exposed it. He held it up to the light so the audience could see the trick for themselves. That's not ducking a question. That's teaching. And watch how Jesse responds, because it's telling. He can't actually counter the point, so he pivots to calling Adam too educated, too clever with words. Think about that for a second. When your best comeback is that the other person is too good at explaining things, you've already lost the substance. You're now attacking the fact that he can articulate a point clearly. That's not a rebuttal. That's a white flag with extra step. But the real knockout comes at the very end, and I want you to really hear this one. Adam catches the entire contradiction in a single breath. Adam said this: "You admitted it was unprecedented, but then you justified it, and you said you wish more presidents had gone after their opponents." Do you see what happened there? You can't have it both ways. You can't wave off a concern as no big deal, while simultaneously admitting it's never happened before in the history of the country and cheering for more of it. Those positions cancel each other out. And here's the thing. History has shown us over and over. Every nation that slid away from the rule of law didn't do it in one dramatic leap. It happened one justified exception at a time, each one defended by someone saying it wasn't really that serious. That's how it always goes. Not with a bang, with a shrug. So what do you guys think of this? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.